welcome to the evening news. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. As the fuel and currency scarcity slowly paralyze socio-economic activities across the country, the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has come under pressure to find a solution to the crisis which have subjected Nigerians to untold hardship. Nigerians, including senators, governors, and youths, are insisting that the President must immediately resolve the new Naira note crisis, which sparked violent riots in Edo and Oyo states last week. The All Progressives Congress governors had met the President with a view to persuade him to end the new Naira note crisis. Also, some National Assembly members who spoke to reporters urged the President to intervene, adding that the fuel and Naira note crisis were affecting turnout at campaign rallies. The senator representing Odo South Senatorial District, Nicholas Towofowomo, asked President Buhari to sack the CBN governor and prosecute him for disobeying the resolution of the Senate directing the extension of the deadline for the old 1,000 Naira, 500 Naira, and 200 Naira notes to May this year. The Economic Community of West African States Commission has urged the 18 registered political parties and candidates in the February 25 and March 11 presidential, National Assembly, governorship, state assembly elections, respectively, to be mindful of the fact that the World Mission Omar Toure, represented by an official of the regional body, Dr. Onyenye Owuka, said this during the fourth and final series of South Zonal Training interactive engagement with representatives of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, as well as other stakeholders involved in the polls to ensure credible, free, and fair general election. Rising from a meeting with stakeholders in Owerri, Imo State, on the forthcoming general elections, the Commission also charged them to adhere strictly to provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 guidelines and the peace accord they signed prior to their campaigns. He also charged the Independent National Electoral Commission to ensure unbiased conduct of the polls, as the entire Africa and the world are looking up to Nigeria, noting that the importance of Nigeria in the West African sub-region could not be overemphasized. The spiritual director, Catholic Adoration Chaplaincy, Enugu, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, has warned that the current Naira crisis will mar the forthcoming elections if not addressed immediately. Mbaka gave the warning during the first Sunday administration of Adoration Chigonike. He lamented why the President and the federal government commenced the implementation of the currency policy towards the general elections when they had 8 years to implement it. The cleric insisted that there was no justification for the unimaginable hardship the regime had brought upon Nigerians. The new Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, has charged the Corps members to avoid political arguments before, during, and after the February 25 and March 11 elections. Ahmed, who gave the charge while addressing the Corps members in Kaduna State, cautioned the Corps members against showing political bias. He warned Corps members, especially those who will be engaged by the Independent National Electoral Commission as ad hoc workers, to remain unbiased electoral officers in line with the provision of the amended 2022 electoral laws. He advised them not to embark on unauthorized journeys that could undermine their security. The new DG stressed that his administration would continue to ensure that Corps members enjoy improved welfare and security. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has sued President Muhammadu Buhari, Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Speaker of House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and two others at the Federal High Court, Abuja, over their failure to cut the unlawful National Assembly budget of 228.1 billion naira, including the 30.17 billion naira severance payment and inauguration costs for members. Joined in the suit as defendants are Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. The case followed the federal legislature's increment of the 2023 budget from 169 billion naira to 228.1 billion naira. The approved appropriation shows an increase of about 59.1 billion naira. The nation's budget of 21.83 trillion naira is based on 10.49 trillion naira revenue and 11.34 trillion naira deficit. The Federal Road Safety Corps has agreed to partner with the management of the Nigerian Port Authority to address the menace posed by falling trucks in Lagos State. The Lagos Sector Commander of FRSC, Corps Commander Olusegun Ogungbemide, made the pledge in a statement through the Route Commander, Sector Public Education Officer, Mrs. Shonusi in Lagos. Ogungbemide said that in response in the menace posed by falling trucks in Lagos State, FRSC and NPA had agreed to partner in addressing the challenge. According to him, both parties are resolved that while FRSC operatives might not necessarily be involved directly in the port trucking operations, it would collaborate to ensure that the trucks meet minimum safety standards and are properly latched before being allowed out of the port terminals. He said that both parties also agreed on the need to support the federal government's policy on ease of doing business, adding that they had agreed with the management of NPA to support in training the truck drivers for improvements in their skills. And moving on to sports. Youths have been charged not to bury their talent in sporting activities as sports remain a competitive, lucrative business across the globe. This was the submission of those who spoke at the maiden edition of Osbc Ogoluwa soccer competition. The contest for the third place was decided between Phoenix Football Club and Suraj Football Academy. The two teams struggled to beat the second runner-up, but Suraj Football Academy carried the day with a lone goal. When it was the time for the contest for the Golden Trophy, the three FC boys slugged it out with the Awolu Football Club boys. There was no dull moment throughout the competition, but the god of soccer seems to be on the side of 3FC. At last, 3FC defeated Awolu Football Club with 2-1. Speaking at the grand finale of the soccer competition, the organizer, Mrs. Abosede Kasumo Ogoluwa, explained that her gesture was to further engage the youth in productive activities and as well enhance unity. Mrs. Kasumo Ogoluwa, who described sports as a unifying factor, pledged to always encourage youths in attaining their career in sports.
And Honorable Kamil Oyedele lauded the initiative of Ms.
We sincerely apologize for that interruption. The most powerful earthquake in nearly a century struck Turkey and Syria today, killing nearly 1,800 people in their sleep, leveling buildings and causing tremors felt as far away as Greenland. The 7.8 magnitude early morning quake followed hours later by a slightly smaller one, wiped out entire sections of major Turkish cities in a region filled with millions who have fled the civil war in Syria and other conflicts. Reports say rescuers used heavy equipment and their bare hands to peel back rubble in search of survivors, who they could in some cases air begging for help under the rubble. The head of Syria's National Earthquake Center, Rahid Ahmed, called it the biggest earthquake recorded in the history of the center. And that ends the evening news on OSBC TV. Do join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.